Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we're back with Pokemon Rejuvenation version 10. This time we're going to be revamping some of the old strategy guides that we made on some of the more difficult encounters in the game, especially the gym leaders here like Revenant Keta. And we're going to be using a single Pokemon, this time exploiting the field extremely heavily. That Xatu there is going to be the key to victory. I'll talk about that in a second. But really all we're doing here is taking a look at the field readme and exploiting it as hard as we can. This is something I've always loved in this game. And we're going to do it very, very easily here with a single Pokemon. We're going to kill all 6 of his with basically 2 moves, not even a full Pokemon's arsenal. And that's going to be exploiting first Ominous Wind. If you check out the readme, you'll see that Ominous Wind will change the Holy Field, which is the default field, into the Haunted Field. At that point, Ominous Wind's likeliness that it will proc will go up to 40%, which is very high, obviously. It's not necessarily guaranteed, but all I really needed was 2 procs to be able to execute this strategy. I got 3, I think, in the recording, but really you probably could even do it with 1 if your Xatu is in good shape. But it's a very overpowered Pokemon. You can actually get this in Amethyst Cave right before Sheridan City, and it's a very good pickup early. It's got good typing and some very important moves for the field situation. So the other ability that we're going to benefit from greatly here is then Stored Power, which of course is going to increase the power of the ability every time you upgrade, you increase your stats. So since we're doing that 6 times each time, and we're getting potentially 2 to 3 times of that, I'm pretty sure the power of this stored power ability is going to be probably like 400 or something like that. So yeah, absolutely going to sweep. So all we need to do is outspeed, which of course we would do because we're also raising our speed stat along the way. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. The reason I'm making this video though is because the recent versions of the game have heavily changed how it operates. So first of all, this gym especially is very different because the cap used to be 30, now it's 25. This actually makes it a lot more difficult, and it completely negates the strategy I used to use. I used to use a strategy that was a lot more complicated and more fun, frankly, but I can't do that now because of another change that have come in the more recent versions of the game. That being that once you're at the cap, you cannot gain experience. So as you see, I'm 25 with 0 experience. You literally don't even gain any experience whatsoever. And that has really changed the game. Obviously, you guys can understand why. It really changed the game. But it really changed it for me because I used to do these things where, say like I had a Pokemon that I needed to go maybe 2 levels over the cap to learn an important move. I would just grind through that and then de-level it with the reverse candies or whatever they are in this game, and that would be all I would need to beat the gym. So I used a strategy that was heavily reliant on that, heavily reliant on that type of exploit of the system, and that no longer is possible. So I've had to come up with an entirely new plan. And there's a couple good options out there, but this one is definitely, there's not going to be one that's better than this. You're not going to beat this gym with a single Pokemon under any other circumstances, from what I can tell. And it's only really because Ominous Wind interacts with the field so easily, and then of course Stored Power is so overpowered. Really ironic there, actually. But I'm actually looking forward to checking this same strategy out later on in other fields, because these the 2 fields that we're interacting with here are actually present at other points in the game that have been relatively difficult. So we'll check that out too. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Glad to be playing Pokemon Rejuvenation version 10. It's very fun. And hopefully we can get through this and see what's up.